On the drive out today, I was thinking, you know, this series isn't just about the snook. I think it's a big story about beating addiction. If you're addicted to anything, could be cigarettes, could be liquor, could be drugs, find something you love more than your addiction, and you will beat it. I'm gonna try to get through here without getting caught on the mangroves. Every time I get caught. Sometimes there's like a massive fish in here. It's just way too tight to fish. So, just gotta be careful. Hopefully never an alligator. If I ran into an alligator in here, this would be a bad spot to be. I'd be in a fight. But it's not that deep. I mean, it's like 2 feet deep and muck on the whole bottom. So I wouldn't die. It would just be crazy. So I just don't want to fight an alligator ever. But it's kind of the risk you play. This log's been here for freaking months. If you've watched Snook Heaven, you probably remember that log. It got me pretty good that day. It's super warm water. I'm saying this water is like 80 to 90 degrees. So I think this bite is gonna be kind of crazy. I wouldn't want to swim in here. It's a little too warm. You might get like an amoeba. Oh my God. All right, we're through. We're coming up on a spot that I learned to catch snook. This is where I caught probably like my second snook ever when I first moved to Florida. And I love this spot. It's a beautiful little area. Look at the water, it's like glass. Tarpon are rolling right here. Okay. And something just followed me up. GoPro Hero 7 overheated again. I needed a new GoPro at some point here. Oh, tarpon, 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 tarpon. Slow down. I don't want to startle the tarpon. I want to catch the tarpon. Look at that dust cloud. That's what happens every time you startle a fish in here. So this area is the epitome of stealth. There's a dust cloud under me. I just startled another one. See if you can see that right there. Looks like a freaking big bomb exploded. Some of these are just massive dust clouds. So I try to be just very slow and not move very much. That way I don't cause dust clouds. I want to catch these fish, not scare them. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet here, but there's a lot of snook right in the spot right now. I just saw 3 or 4 of them explode on things. This back pocket. Oh, that was a tarpon. That was a tarpon. I don't know if you saw that. That was right next to it. He charged it, missed it. Little tiny tarpon. Oh, wow. There's a big explosion up there. This pocket is where everything is right now. All the bait is pushed up in here. You see why I go off to the side? To not get startled by the kayak. I'm gonna startle fish just because I'm here. There's always fish like right along this corner, this side. Oh, another one blew up right there. There's a tarpon right there. I'm seeing a lot of tarpon here today. Oh, we just had 2 hits on a tarpon. It was definitely a tarpon because it didn't get the hook. Tarpon are very bad at aim, like I said in the last video. But that was a nice tarpon. It was like a 2-footer at least. It wasn't huge. We got a mangrove right there. We're about to watch us get a bite right here and then. Okay. So fish are actually bumping the bottom of my boat right now. I can legitimately hear them hitting the bottom of the boat. You can see these dust clouds right next to me, massive. There's some big fish in here. There we go, first one of the day, finally. Finally. There we go. All right, little guy's starting, just like last time. Little guys start, big guys finish. We're getting bites like every other cast right now. Tarpon and snook. And there's some big ones in here too. I can see their blow-ups. And right there, like that. Those ones we're startling, we'll get to target them again on the way back. But look at this. Just total mess. This spot's always good. I knew that during the series I had to go here at some point. Oh, look at that. You can see a couple little fish over there. They saw me. I saw them before they saw me, but you can actually see the effects of the drought here too. Nice and low. There's no tide here. I mean, this is very low compared to what it usually is. Another foot higher. There's one right there. See, they're pushing this bait right up on these edges, and it's so low that there's no mangrove there now because of this drought. I haven't been here since the drought really started, so I haven't been here in probably like 2 months. But I don't want to really paddle any further, but the wind is pushing me, so I kind of have no choice but to go further. I'm gonna startle anything that's up that corner, that's for sure. I mean, this area is really shallow. Foot and a half right here, and they're biting right in there and like a couple inches of water. I hate my GoPro, you know? It makes me want to smoke. It's so bad. The GoPro just overheats like every 5 minutes, man. Stupid GoPro Hero 7, man. I need a new one. If you have advice on that, I saw someone say in one of the comments to look at Hero 13 with, what is it called? Hero 13 with an external battery pack or something. If you have any other types of cameras, not even GoPros, like just any kind of action cameras you guys think would be good, let me know, because I'm gonna need something. I'm not gonna stop doing videos, and I like doing this, and I like fishing a lot. So if you know, let me know. Okay, thanks. Oh, we're on a good one. Not huge, but good. Oh, good. Yeah. Oh, that was like a 18-incher, dude. Son of a biscuit. Let's get back at it. That was a beautiful hit. That was like 18 to 20. It was not slot at all. This spot never disappoints. I swear, I will come back here for the next 20 years to fish in a kayak like this. It's so much fun just doing a stealthy approach. A lot of people are asking me, like, why don't you get a boat? Why don't you do this or that? Well, first of all, I can't afford it. Second of all, I feel like there's something different about fishing a kayak, you know? And they're like, why don't you get a paddleboard? Well, honestly, sitting kayaks are the most chaotic way to catch a fish because you do not have full power. If you catch a big fish, it's in control and you are kind of there for the ride. And it's very thrilling when you actually get on big fish in this thing. So whenever I'm using the red rod, that is the Salt Strong Slam Shady, okay? And whenever I'm using the St. Croix, black St. Croix here, this one's always gonna be equipped with the DOA, brown and white mix. So that's kind of how I'm able to tell when I'm editing which one I was catching the fish on, because sometimes I'll definitely get confused. If I start using both rods with the same lure, you know, then it'll mess me up. But that's gonna be a good way I'm able to tell for this test that I'm doing. That's gonna be a good way for me to know which lure I was using during my experiment here. So once I'm done this, I'm gonna actually make that video. It's a really cool idea, and I'm curious myself which one's gonna work better. So I have to make sure I'm giving this Salt Strong its fair shot here. We're going back in this pocket again, as you can see. Gave it a nice little 45 minutes or so to reload it, let them get back, not be startled anymore after we startled everything last time. Usually you can go back in here, you get 1 or 2 snook every time you go back in here. This place is like a playground, just a little snook playground. Sometimes there's big ones, majority of the time they're not like massive. I just wanted to see how good it was right now, just with how good it was at the canal the other day. This is how I learned to study snook behavior. There's a couple little ones over here right now. Just back in there, they're just wrecking those bait balls. Let's try right along the mangrove line right here. Oh, beautiful cast. Let's hit it. Twice. Oh my God, that just hit right there. Okay, let's slow it down. There's so many mullet in here. You can hear by the splashes all around me. Oh man, we just started a nice one right there. That's probably a tarpon or red. Out here in the middle, the center areas, tarpons, reds, edges, snook. We're running it in through the channel there, and just on the outside of that channel along this point. I got a bite here on this point earlier, that 20-inch. That fell off. You know, sometimes I don't really care if they fall off. They're kind of small. The small ones, I'm not really targeting them. I'm going for the bigger ones. But the small ones hit the same thing. The bigger ones hit, so they're the bycatch of this. I mean, I'm happy. I'm having fun with every single one of them. You know, just catching snook is fun regardless. I prefer snook to any other fish. That includes like bass, redfish, everything. Snook are the craziest, most chaotic fish there is. You don't know what to expect, and then you're just in it, and you get like lost in the fight of a snook. All your problems go away when you catch a snook. The other day when my rod and reel fell into the water and Michael saved it, what happened was the reel started tightening up yesterday when I came out, and I learned this old trick from an old fisherman that best thing to do, tarpon, best thing to do when your reels gets wet in salt water is rinse it out and then spray it up with WD-40. WD-40 is made with fish oil, so it doesn't hurt the fish when that oil gets in here, and it'll just kind of loosen those gears up and let it really rock again. So good tip there for anybody that's a saltwater fisherman that's going through reels like I used to do. The best time for snook is typically for me always been around 7:30 to 8:30 in the summertime. We had a big one right there. All right, let's keep it going. Let's slow down. We just got a big bite right here. Just didn't get the hook. So calm. It's windy, but I'm on the inside of this mangrove line, and I'm able to stay out of the wind. I'm so much calmer today than I usually am, than I've been. Maybe it's because I'm in a place I like, but maybe I'm starting to get less withdrawal symptoms. One thing that's really important when you're fishing saltwater is to cover as much ground as you possibly can. If you'll notice, I'm never not moving. I'm always moving. I feel like it's not that good for you, for snook and tarpon, all these kind of fish that people really want to catch if you're just sitting on the shoreline. So kayaks are pretty inexpensive, and you can definitely catch a lot more fish that way. If I was just fishing from shore, I probably wouldn't do nearly as well as I do on average. So definitely try to be mobile, and if you are sitting at a shoreline, I mean, move along that shoreline, maybe even wade in the water. It'll give you a lot higher chance when you cover more water. This area is not that deep either. Look at this. A foot deep. This whole lake is like a foot deep. How crazy is that? You would expect this to be a lot deeper, wouldn't you? Mullet. If you hear the exit and the enter on the splash, exit splash, entrance splash, that is a mullet every time. I feel like I'm definitely more calm today because I'm not dealing with the boats. You know, when I'm dealing with all that wake and stuff, like in a stressful situation, like catching a fish or wrapping a line around an alligator, that really does mess you up a little bit more. So those waves, that wake that someone will float by, it will just mess me up. If you're a boater, I'm sorry I complain about boaters waking, but honestly guys, it would be really nice if you guys would just slow down when you pass kayakers or when you see a manatee, because you know how many marks there are on the back of these manatees out there. It's kind of sad when you see some manatees, they're just ripped up on their backs because people just don't slow down. I think a lesson in this video, in this series, is people need to slow down sometimes in order to appreciate what is there. Because if you're not taking the time to take in what's there, you're gonna take for granted everything that's really important to you. Heard one of you guys tear up just now. Like, oh man, this comedian guy that fishes got me to tear up by saying something deep. Yeah, dude, everyone's got deep stuff, man. So I'll tell you what, guys, my GoPro overheated so many times today that we just had a ton of off-camera fish. We had like, oh, just a ton of off-camera fish, dude. So I'm sorry about that, guys, but it was just tons and tons. My phone wasn't working either. Yeah, yep, just off camera. All of it off camera. You mangrove. Shit!